The game has finally gone. The beautiful game we love and adore has been ruined by VAR. You can't celebrate goals anymore. They're making decisions brutally wrong. In other news, though, Villa absolutely battered Brighton 6-1. Man City lost away at Wolves. Man United lost again, which it probably isn't so much of a surprise. And Luton picked up their first 3 points of the season. What is going on in the Premier League? Right, lads, welcome to the show. How are we looking, boys? We good?
Good. Yep.
We've got plenty to talk about today. I am going to be power talking because I feel like I've had about 7 coffees already this morning. Not feel, I actually have had. So I'm a bit like, which is a good thing, though, because we've got so much to talk about. We have to start with the Liverpool game. Liverpool-Tottenham, Saturday evening. 2-1 to Tottenham. Fantastic win for them. But the game was overshadowed. The game was marred by a ridiculous decision for Luiz Diaz's disallowed goal. Mark, kick us off, please, because I know you did a watch along for this, and I know you were absolutely fuming with it, weren't you?
I didn't actually do a watch along for this because I'd been doing the United game, so I missed the start, but I watched it. So it's a different thing for me to watch it and not do a watch along. And I thoroughly enjoyed the game, and I was so excited about it. We'd spoken about it on the content last week, and I was like, "What a game! It's the game of the weekend." And as soon as the red card happened, I was like, you know, sometimes a game you look forward to. I don't like a red card. Yeah. I don't think it was a red card, by the way. You know, I don't.
What do you reckon? Do you think it's a red?
I think he's been a little bit unlucky.
Yeah,
you know, when you go over the top of the ball and your foot rides the top of the ball and it bounced onto his leg.
Yeah.
I think if you've played the game, you can see he's not gone to hurt him. But again...
And he goes with the top of his foot, doesn't he, to get the ball, but then the ball goes like that.
And he's rolled the ball. But when you see the ref go to the monitor, he's just got one still image of his foot.
Ankle.
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair.
No.
The ref's ref in the game, see the moment.
They put that into Canberra as well and edited like some blood coming out of his ankle just to make it a little bit worse or something.
But he's been really unlucky, hasn't he? The ref's probably seen he's rolled the ball and never give the red. Yeah. But when he sees that still image, we all have to give a red at that point.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they've never even played the clip for him. It's just a still image of him doing him on the shin.
The thing I love about football is that it's open to everybody. It's diverse, and I'm not talking about normal diversity. I'm talking about intelligence. Like idiots can watch football.
Yeah.
It's very obvious. But what I feel that when they put those pictures up and go and have a look at it, and his first thing he's looking at is that studs on the thing.
Yeah.
It's human nature, isn't it?
Finished,
You're going to go, oh, that's really bad. But then and then the intelligent people who've watched the game for years or played the game go, yeah, but you can break your leg. Remember David Boost?
Yeah.
He got it from both ways. What was he going to do? Send them both off? You're going to get injured. And I was like, we're sending people off now because of the results and not how we got there. And I think that he's really unlucky. It's physics that cause it.
Yeah.
And the referee on the pitch gave the yellow card. Like, don't overrule the referee on the pitch because a lot of the time they've probably got it right because they're playing. Referees on the pitch watch it in real time.
Well, that's my point. I think he's there. He saw it. He saw him ride the ball, but he never watched the clip. He just had a still image, and it looks horrendous.
It's like they're directing him to send him off.
Absolutely.
This is the bit that gets the fans' backs up. And not even if you're a Liverpool fan. I'm a neutral watching this game on Saturday, right? And I'm thinking that it's almost like they want him to get a red card. And then with what happens with the Diaz disallowed goal, it's like they want that goal to be disallowed. And this is the bit that leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Do you know the worst part for me, actually, about this disallowed goal? Sorry to move on from the red card, which I agree with you guys. I think it was harsh. I do. I think it was harsh. I understand it being a red, but I think it was harsh.
It ruins the game, though.
It does ruin the game. And that's the bit for me. I was like, oh, come on. I'm settled in here. I've got my burger on the way from Deliveroo, right? This is going to be a good Saturday, okay? And it kind of ruined it a little bit. Either way, it was a good match. But the bit that I found really disappointing about this Luiz Diaz goal, right, is that they never showed a replay of it. Well, they showed one, didn't they? They showed one very quick replay, right, as soon as it had happened, and the game was moved on already. It's like the game was already restarted again. I'm thinking, well, that was quick. They must be double sure. And every image we saw, we thought, that's onside. That looks onside. They didn't show another replay for the rest of the first half. Not one replay, And then at half-time, they didn't talk about it, not once, until 10 seconds before the start of the second half,
Happens a lot.
So that tells me, right? That tells me. Do you know what it tells me? Is that
Sky are in bed with the
Sky are in bed with the people at VAR, whatever it is, whatever it is. Yeah, they're in bed with them because they must have got straight on the phone and said, do not highlight the fact that we've cocked up here. Do not show it. Do not talk about it. Do not badmouth this. Do not nothing. All right. I guarantee you that's what's happened. So that's why Sky were under direct orders to not say a single word about it.
But it does happen. I mean, we've it's whether we want to say it or not. But we've all operated round the mainstream media, and that is what has happened.
It's exactly what's happened.
It's almost, and this is the problem. It's a dictatorship, and the fans are the lifeblood of football. We're not stupid. We're like, where's the replay? Where's the replay? Where's the replay? They're not showing it because they think we're going to forget. And it's like, you're absolute idiots. Like, we're not going to forget.
No.
Own it quick. And we were talking before we came on air. I mean, the incredible thing is anybody could see that. I mean, apparently Stevie Wonder was ringing up saying it was offside, but anybody could see it was offside. And
Onside,
yeah. I'm as bad as them now. And they've indoctrinated me. But we were saying, weren't we, like I don't care if they play on for a minute and it's up the other end and it's a corner and the referee just goes, hold on a minute, blows up and says, we've got it wrong, it's a goal. Spurs fans are going to be calling in. We're going to be saying that's ridiculous on a Monday, but at least you get the right decision.
Ultimately, the rewards are so big. You need the right decision.
Yeah.
If we're sat in that studio, all of a sudden that you've said play on, and we've cancelled the goal.
Yeah.
We're talking, lads. We've made a big booby.
Yeah.
Get on the blower. 30 seconds later, and you could have stopped it.
Yes,
there'd be uproar. There might have been 5 passes. There might have been it does not matter. Rewind it. Get the decision right. Ultimately, us guys in the studio, we're still going to get a right roasting.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you've come to the correct decision.
Yeah.
Now, they knew 30 seconds after that they'd made a big boo-boo, but they didn't have anything to stop it.
Who was it that was doing Super Sunday? Who was in the studio? Which players was it? Was it Mika
Redknapp
and
was
Redknapp?
on Friday night.
No,
Saturday.
Redknapp was there, and was it?
It was Kelly Cates, Redknapp, and somebody else, right?
Yeah.
But this is the bit that they know. Jamie Redknapp knows. Kelly Cates knows.
Well, Gary Neville knew, but then he's changed 24 hours later. He's gone, oh, they should accept the apology. And it makes me think, works for Sky, does he? You think,
To be honest, the one thing I thought VAR were going to do, it were going to stop us having pub conversations about decisions. But actually, because it's been so bad, we have more conversations about decisions now than we've ever had. And this, for me, the offside is the one thing in my time when it all started working in the Premier League, the one argument that no team could ever have. No. Because they were going to stop it.
Yeah.
They were going to hold us still. They were going to draw the lines. And we spoke about the worst decision last week, the handball. That can still be human error because that's an interpretation.
Yeah.
You stop the clip, you've got the camera angles, you draw the lines, it is finished. There were no arguments.
It's
offside
factual.
is offside.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we've gone from, I didn't think we could make a worse decision than last week, but this week, we've somehow compounded the whole thing and made a decision that really, to any Premier League fan, manager, coach, player, it's indefensible. It cannot. It just can't happen.
I think this is the worst VAR mistake we've had. The only one that runs it close, but that's down to technical error. It's down to like actual error with something. Was the goal line thing with
Villa Sheffield United, wasn't it?
Villa Sheffield United.
Also,
the ball's over the line.
Arsenal Brentford was last February. It was offside again.
Exactly.
Drew the line wrong.
So
in 6 months, in 2 huge games that could have impacts in both seasons' title races, Arsenal have been screwed.
Yeah.
And Liverpool have been screwed.
This is
on technology.
This is the 14th apology that the PGMOL has submitted in total.
And that's only the ones they've apologised for. There's 100. There's 100 real ones.
So this is their statement that they came out with. It was the goal by Luiz Diaz was disallowed for offside by the on-field team of match officials. This was a clear and obvious factual error and should have resulted in the goal being awarded through the VAR intervention. However, the VAR failed to intervene, which is so the guy has one job. The guy has one job.
You should have given him some of your coffee. Wake him up. Bloody
Genuinely,
hell.
he has one job. His job is to say, and you hear the language that they use, by the way. It's check complete. So the guy that in the VAR studio is saying, stick with your original decision, check complete. Yeah. So what kind of language is that? Simplify it. You just simplify it and say it should be awarded as a goal. It should be a goal And that's all you need to say. You don't need to worry about check complete. You don't need to worry about stick with the original decision. You should tell him what the actual answer is right there and then. And it's as simple as that, isn't it?
Look, absolutely. I mean, Klopp has to come on the TV after and try and somehow remain relatively calm.
He was brilliant.
He was brilliant.
And it was a brilliant interview.
Calm, yeah.
And to be fair, he was bob on, because if he actually went one step beyond, all it's going to do is affect him, because they will be taking money out of his bank account. And he even alluded to the fact he cannot even, after that game, talk about it, even though everybody on the planet knows it's the worst decision you've ever seen.
And Van Dijk as well. But having played the game, I haven't. But I said I was on the radio talking about it, and I said if I was Klopp, I'd do that. It's really hard to do, and I'd walk in the dressing room and I'd say, "You lads are brilliant. 10 and 9 men. You were brilliant. We're going to have a good season. We'll leave this for the club to sort out." And the club have come out and done a statement.
It's an easy one for the manager when you put a performance in like that. But we haven't even talked about the other sending off. I mean, the first yellow card.
Shambles.
He's actually...
He hasn't done anything.
He's not done anything. He's clipped him, and the guy's tripped himself up.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, come on. And then to lose in that last kick of the game by an own goal when you've had 9 men it's gut-wrenching. But the officials... They're having too much... We're talking too much about this kind of thing now. When really...
That game was ruined.
Yeah, ruined. And
Do you honestly, do you think we will ever get rid of VAR? Do you reckon we'll ever go back to just having a referee and having linesmen and having a fourth official and that's it?
It's not
literally
the
that's
decision to make now.
No,
it's
too
done
big.
with
UEFA and FIFA.
It's too big now.
Yeah, what they should do is do what we've been going on about for over a year now, is they should say, this is a handball, this is a red card, and offside. They've got the technology already, and also they should be publicly accountable. They're a dictatorship. They're like a political party.
Why don't we get an ex-Premier League player, or not even a Premier League player, an ex-player in that box with them for that red card and say, look, you can see he's not gone to hurt him. No. He's overstretched on a touch. He's rolled on top of the football. You can't be getting a red card for that.
You know what, though, Watto, though? If the referee on the pitch gives the red, I'm OK.
Yeah.
I'm OK. If he gives the red, I can go, he's got that wrong, he's a bloody idiot, but he's given it. But when he gives a yellow on the pitch and then they're in his ear, refereeing that like, what is your job? So you're refereeing the game on red cards, but you're not refereeing the game on handballs if they don't give it.
No.
So you're sticking your nose in when you want to. And it happened with Casemiro last year. On the pitch, yellow card, similar tackle. You think you should give a red. Andre Mariner, the day before, didn't give 2 reds on the pitch for the same tackle. I'd go with... I think there's some simpler rules they need to go through, and I've had enough of it. It's so inconsistent.
It's brain numbing, to be honest.
I hate the beauty of football is, right, when a ball goes in the back of the net, and you know as a football fan or as a football player, or what, you know when a goal's good, don't you? You know when a goal's good, and that moment, that 4 or 5 seconds of absolute elation and joy where you know you can lose your shit for a second and just go, oh my God, this has actually happened, this is incredible, it's gone. You don't get to do it anymore.
Well, if anybody's naive enough to do it, that feeling leaves you
because you're going to think, I'm going to look like a fool in a minute.
You just got to start waiting.
Yeah, I'm going to look like a fool in a minute. So then you can't do that anymore. And that's the bit that kills it for me, is where you can't lose yourself anymore. And I want to lose myself on a Saturday afternoon when a massive goal goes in. You don't get to do it because you're always thinking, well, hold on a minute, that happened there, that might be there, that might have happened there. And you have to go through loads of little segments now to just make sure that it's a goal. And that's the reason why I think...
Well, it's like even with that Curtis Jones red card, you're watching the game, he's been given a yellow card, everyone's sort of... the player's injured, everyone's absolutely fine, and no one's demanding a red. And then suddenly he's like, oh, I'm going to this. And you're like, oh, the game's going to change now. And it was absolutely fine.
Let's move on for talk about VAR, because I don't like it, I don't enjoy it. Just let's talk about the game quickly. It was a fantastic game, wasn't it? These are the sort of games we want to see on our TV on a Saturday afternoon. Spurs, don't get me wrong, they got a few nice decisions go their way, but still very impressive, weren't they?
Brilliant start to the season. They played Arsenal last week. I think they arguably were the better team in the last 20 minutes there. They could have won it. I think Liverpool would have beat them with 11 men.
Yeah.
But Spurs have become a victim themselves because they've had a fantastic win that really doesn't mean anything because of the injustice against Liverpool.
I almost feel a bit sorry for Spurs.
But they're not bothered. They're doing really well. There's no reason, with no European football, if they can avoid injury, there's no reason why they can't have a really, really good season. And I'm talking top 4.
Yeah, top 4. Watto, just give me a bit of goalie analysis, would you please? Because Alisson made some incredible saves, double saves from Vicario. They look proper goalies, them two, don't they?
Well, we spoke last week. the Spurs, great start to the season, best they've had for whatever, or joint best they've had for 17 points and whatever they've got. And I think the goalie's had a big contributing factor to that. He made double saves in the game and kept them in it in big moments. But Alisson, on the other hand, you've been there. You know, when you've gone down, not normally 9 men, but you go down to 10 men and you're on fire, you're making your saves, and then for Matip to put it past you, it's
heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking, and it's so deflating. But I think the 2 goalies on show in that game are certainly on top of the
quickly,
game.
let me just jump in on Alisson here, right? If there's anybody wants to watch a goalie who is on the front foot, this is proper front-footed goalkeeping here, right? You know, when somebody's about to put a cross in, as a goalie, you can read it and you can sort of gauge whereabouts he's going to put it, but by where he looks, his body shape, the way he's approaching the ball, all that kind of stuff. Alisson is just a master at this, right? So as soon as he sees it, he'll look at the players in the box and he'll think, right, he's obviously going to be aiming for it. He will already have made a couple little steps to make sure his body is in the right position to go and attack that ball. He is looking to come and take the ball. And I watched him do it about 5 or 6 or 7 times. He did one where he came out and did a diving punch thing. Oh, it was incredible.
There's one that's whizzed across the face of the goal, and he's actually read it so early. He's in a position where the Spurs guys don't go in behind it, and he just takes his hands away because he's going to parry it in the goal, and he just leaves it. But they don't attack behind it because they think he's going to get it.
Exactly. This is the sort of thing in goalkeeping, right, that just goes so unnoticed. People don't appreciate it unless you're an actual goalkeeper. But his performance on Saturday for me was just outrageous.
I mean, I don't have the technical detail you two guys do, but for me, he's the best goalkeeper in the world.
I think he
in
is.
the world.
Yeah,
like obviously with Courtois being injured, but he's comfortably the best in the Premier.
No, he's up the level in the Premier League.
He is, hasn't he? For sure.
I think so.
And quickly, we're going to move on. We're going to talk about Wolves beating Man City in a minute. James Maddison just continued his incredible start to the season. Just everything in that Tottenham midfield, everything at the top of that pitch just goes through him. Like, he's that little dictator, isn't he?
If they lose him, they'll struggle.
Yeah, they will.
He looks to me is like your son playing football on a Sunday.
Having a nice
playing
time.
with a smile on his face. He's running the whole show. He's in position. He plays a pass. He's just enjoying the game. It's like going back to when you first played on the park field and all you wanted to do was go and play football with your mates.
Yeah.
And I think when you play in that mindset and that mode, you perform like he's performing. It's like there's a weight lifted off his shoulders from the Leicester experience. He obviously really enjoys his position, the manager, playing in front of them fans. But it's just like a Sunday kickabout. It's really nice to see.
Yeah, it is nice to see. Fantastic start for Tottenham, joint top. Would you believe it? Lukey boy, we buzzing?
Absolutely.
Luke's a Spurs fan, by the way. He is buzzing, by the way. Right then, we did not see this one coming. 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. Everybody had it as a home win. Everybody, without fail. Everybody had Haaland as captain in their fantasy Premier League. Everyone had Kyle Walker, Edison. Absolutely zilcho from him. Craig Dawson, masterclass, Watto.
Yeah, I absolutely loved watching him marking Haaland. He was like a puppy with his first master. He followed him everywhere. He didn't play like a conventional centre-half where normally you'd hold a zonal position for wide balls. He knew Haaland's the danger. Yeah. I've got to latch onto him. And he just stuck there. I'm sure if we could have ever done a piece with Dawson and Haaland, both of them would have been like, just leave me alone, let's get separated from it. It was a proper centre-half performance. He never left him alone, and it's probably the first time Haaland's been marked like that because he never marked the space. He marked the man, so he couldn't get any actions.
Do you think this is a new way to approach Man City then? Do you think this is what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to pick one centre-back and go, right, your job today, stick to him like glue.
I think really there's a really telling stat, which I've just read off there, and I didn't know this, but I was going to say about Rodri anyway. They've lost 5 of their last 15 when he's not played.
Wow.
And, yeah, they've only lost 5 of their last 67 when he has played.
Wow.
I mean, I think Rodri is... I think everybody knows how important he is for Man City, but I think some people still don't realise how important he is.
But the drop-off that you saw in that game were huge. I mean, the possession stats...
Yeah.
And the amount of times that actually they allowed Wolves into the game by being loose on the ball in midfield, and actually Wolves' biggest threat were on the transition, quick counter-attacks, and that's what got them in the game. They wouldn't have lost that possession when Rodri's in the field. No. But then you go back to the week before, stupid red card.
Go on, sorry.
I was just going to say, I think it's great for the Premier League, and to be fair to Wolves, they deserved this. They were up against Liverpool a few weeks ago. The second half ran out of steam. They should have beat United opening day. They've been due a result, and I was really pleased for them at the weekend.
This is a massive result for a team like Wolves. Like I say, this is when you look at your upcoming fixtures, like as a manager or even as a player, you'll look at it and you'll go, well, we might get something there. You know, we might all 3 points on that one. But when you see Man City on that fixture list, right, that one is cross for it.
Yeah.
I promise you, it's a cross for it. It's red.
You're open.
Don't worry about
3
it.
goals against, and we'll walk away because you don't want to be upset with your goal difference, especially away from home. But even at home, like if you can take a 2 or 3, you don't want to be seen as negative and all this before the game. But in-house, as staff and people around the environment, you know how tough it is.
Yeah.
And just don't get the 4, 5, 6s because they're hard to come back from. They're hard to come back from.
Yeah.
So to take a point or then ultimately beat him, it is, you know, I think he's done an unbelievable job, O'Neill, to be honest with you, in very trying circumstances, taking over so late at the end of pre-season. And he looks as though there's something going on there that they're going to be able to hold on to. And we spoke last week, you know, the 3 or 4 points, like just with what we've been talking about all morning, VAR decisions.
Exactly that. Right, Ollie Watkins on fire. Obviously, I go and use my wild card this week and take him out of my team when he got a nice little hat-trick, 23 points. Villa, though, again, a little bit of a surprise result. I don't think anybody saw this one coming, did they?
I did. I went with the Villa win.
Yeah, you went for Villa win. You wouldn't have gone for a 6-1, though.
No, but I suppose when you look at it, and I was really looking forward to this weekend, and this was like this half-12 game. I was like, yes, I'm watching this. And again, I think that Brighton have lost to Everton last season. They got smashed, West Ham. The way they play football, and it is to their credit, they've got an identity, is that they never stopped playing that style of football, even at 6. And, I mean, again, there was a couple of dodgy referee decisions in that. The third goal was a foul. Definitely a foul. But that would discredit a Villa win, which was 100% deserved. They were fantastic. The energy, the way that they closed Brighton down. Emery had a game plan and Brighton couldn't deal with it. And they thoroughly deserved the win. And Brighton were just really off. They couldn't string passes together. And if they can't do that, they don't have a different way to play. And Villa could have had a couple more.
Yeah, I think Brighton will be absolutely fine. Like, but the thing I like about Brighton is, like I say, don't get me wrong, they've just let in 6 goals, and they're always going to concede Brighton the way that they play. But they will stick to the way they play. And that is the beauty of what Robert De Zerbi's doing there, is that they will say, no, do you know what? We've lost 6-1, it's cool, but next game we go and do exactly the same thing, you know. That's the way we play.
Still up there, aren't they?
That's exactly the way we play, and we stick to that.
He trusts them to play the football. The game at the weekend, I think Emery is really cute as a coach. Tactically, he set Villa up just as they start playing. They're going to be on that front foot, on the jump behind the pass, and they were just on top of them. And I thought Brighton's midfield 2 in front of the back 4 just got overrun a little bit. There were a young kid, Inshallwood, making his debut. Gilmour in there. Villa had too much for them, and they were too quick, too powerful.
Too
much experience.
That's what
it's a tough game at Villa Park, you know, to make your debut as a young kid. So they obviously think he's the real deal, but it's tough against Villa's main men in there in that game, and they just got overrun playing what is their normal game. And ultimately, they stick to their game plan and think, even when they get back at 3-1, we'll keep going. But Villa were too good on the
And at 3-1 at second half, they could have.
Next
goal
moments,
was going to be key, and it went 4-1. I mean, Jacob Ramsey's goal was
beautiful.
But Villa now at home, just reading on the things, 10 consecutive games at home they've won. Only City done better.
They've got a good run of games coming up again.
And I mean, to do that at any level at home, 10 wins, that's
okay,
something.
Ollie Watkins, I apologise, mate. You're going back in the Fantasy Premier League team this week. Realistically, where can Villa finish this season?
Well, it's going to be top 6 because it's so competitive.
So 5 get Champions League this year, don't they?
Maybe.
Yeah. If they get Champions League football, that is fantastic. And Ollie Watkins, does he deserve a place in Gareth Southgate?
Southgate were in the stands watching, wasn't he?
Exactly.
So
wasn't in the last
what a time to get a hat-trick. What a time to get a hat-trick. I think, look, now, if you think about the players who could potentially get in that England team behind Kane, Wilson, not always a starter.
Well, he's injured at the minute anyway.
Yeah, Calvert-Lewin, not always a starter. If he comes on and scores a hat-trick, he's got to be up there. Tony's not available.
Yeah.
He's got to be ahead of Nketiah. And he got picked in the last
what more does he have to do if you're scoring goals in the Premier League?
All right, it's time for one question go in a minute, but quickly, can I just give a shout out to my son, actually? Louis Foster, you little legend, had a game yesterday, Sunday, away at Hampton Reds, scored this. Have a little watch on it on the screen now. Have a look at this. Gets the ball, little step over, boom, bends one over the goalie, into the corner, 35 yards out. Louis Foster, well done, mate. Proud dad moment that was, you know.
Chapeau.
Chapeau, well done, Lou Dog. Right, one question go. Come on then, what?
Here we go.
Let's see.
I think with the scores currently at 1-1, I've got to be on my A game here because I think both of you for sure know the answer to this question.
Okay, then.
Are we ready? Which club did Jermaine Defoe play for before signing for Rangers in 2020?
Sunderland.
Wrong.
Before signing for Rangers.
Rangers.
I'm going to count down from 5, 4, 3,
I'm going to say Spurs.
2, 1.
Spurs.
Bournemouth.
Yes! A voice from the library. A voice from the library. AFC Bournemouth.
Did not know that.
I did not know that.
We stay at 1-1, guys.
Yeah. Well done if you got it at home.
It's a good question, that.
Good question. Honestly, I'm on them.
Very good question. Never mind. We are rubbish at that one question go, by the way. Don't forget, we've got the quiz at the end of the show, the proper quiz. And if you didn't watch last week's show, Watto went and won. Watto.
And you actually got one right in it as well. Come on.
Watto incredibly won.
Yes, that looks a lot better. That looks a lot better.
I saw the clip. He was making grannies cry with that clip. It was like a life.
Honestly, I've had the best week of my life since that, guys. Thank you so much.
He'll probably get not another point for the rest of the season, but he's off the mark at least. Anyway, Luton.
And so are they.
And so are Luton off the mark. I love that.
He's
nice
the
little
Luton,
segue. Nice little segue. Watto, Mark, all season long you've been saying they're not going to get a single win all season. They're not going to win. Well, they went and did it away at Everton. Again, another one of those games we didn't see coming, did we?
No, and it wasn't a smash and grab. They were winning for a long part of that game, and Everton have got to... I think Everton have got to look at the Sean Dyche situation. I really do. We talk about Emery, we talk about De Zerbi. Everton are as big as Villa, and they're bigger than Brighton, and I don't know why they're messing around with this brand of football. I really like Sean Dyche, but I think football's moved on, and you can't be losing at Goodison Park. So Luton, with all due respect to Luton, take the plaudits, well done. Yeah. Really great, really good, great. Maybe they can perform a miracle, but... Everton aren't in a position where they can afford to lose to Luton, and they're right back down there again. I think it's Luton are Luton. They're gonna scrap and fight, and maybe they can. I would assume they'll take that on now into the Burnley game, and maybe even Spurs at the weekend. But yeah, great result for Luton, but I don't know how Everton are losing that.
We spoke a minute ago about when you're a team and you look at the fixtures coming up, and then you go possibly. Everton would have had this one down as a win. But I think Luton probably would as well.
Well, I think that tells you all we need to know about Everton, because that's their fall from grace. You're reading on the stats that they've lost the first 4 home games since 1958-59. But it's just not a Sean Dyche performance, is it? Ultimately, in the game, Everton get to the final third and it just peters out. Yeah. Yes, there's lots of crosses in the box, there's bodies in the box, but it's a scrap and a fight. It's not...
Luton will love that as well.
Yeah, that's what Luton want. It's not the intricacies of football that you face in the Premier League. Look, we said last year when Dyche went in, he'll keep them in the league, and we were 100% right, and it were always going to happen. Everton are a massive football club. They demand so much more. It just weren't, for me, a Sean Dyche performance. They get beat on 2 set pieces. Luton actually could have scored possibly 3 or 4 from the corners. Yeah, so if you're conceding corners and wide free kicks... In a Sean Dyche team, you're going to be up against it.
What do they need to do then, Everton, to change this complete ethos, this style of football? Do you know what I mean? Do they need to get relegated? Do they need to spend a season in the Championship where they can recruit these players who know how to play football?
Well,
or do they try and just do it step by step? But that's the thing. If they try and change their style of football now, they'll get relegated, guaranteed.
The risk and reward for that kind of strategy, especially they're going into a new stadium that they're going to potentially fill with another 20,000-25,000 Everton fans. That's how big that club is.
Well, that's they cannot change there.
Yeah, they cannot risk a relegation, and there's just apathy around the whole thing. It's not a good feel. It's not good football, and I was really shocked that they lost the game. I'm not saying they're always going to win, but I didn't expect, like you say, on paper, Dyche knows what the league's all about. Promoted team coming to your ground, you can't get beat. They'd won at Brentford last week. They'd got the momentum. They'd won at Villa in the Cup. All right, changed teams. So they were on a real roll. This was their moment to say, right, this is where we're going to push on and start our season. And actually, the whole thing's just gone from bad to worse. And ultimately, I always think they will and he will maybe just have enough.
Yeah.
But at some point, they have to really look at whether
this
they
is a
change.
6-pointer. This one was an actual 6-pointer, this one. If, like I say, if Everton win this, they pull themselves up to mid-table.
Yeah.
But for Everton...
Reasonable start, then.
Oh, you're saying that's a decent start for us. Considering where we've come from last season, decent start. Luton will be absolutely buzzing with this. Right, we're going to move on. Mark, your boys, Man United. We did This Is Football last week, and I think I went for a draw. I think you went for a Man United home win against Palace. I went for a draw because I just don't know what I'm going to get from Man United, and that's exactly the way it played out. It was a Palace win in the end, but doesn't come as a massive surprise, does it?
No, I think the contrast is really key when you look at your Brightons, your Villas, your Newcastles, your Spurs. They've got an identity, and Manchester United just it's not just a Ten Hag problem. It was a Solskjaer Mourinho problem. Did Mourinho get United playing the Mourinho way? No. Did Van Gaal get them playing the Van Gaal way? No. Is Ten Hag getting them play the Ten Hag way? No. There's an identity problem. There's a mentality problem. They can't break teams down. They panic in the final third. They had more than enough possession. I think they had over 700 passes and 4 shots on target. It's not a surprise, but the solution concerns me because we've lost 4 of the first 7. Any manager can be sacked, especially at Manchester United. Pochettino's in the same place. You can't just say it's a project. If you lose enough games, you'll get the sack. And I don't know what I think. It's a bit like the Everton solution, isn't it? They've got to implement a plan that actually gets them playing good football. That's what Ange's done at Spurs. To do that, I think he's got to make big choices. I'm a big fan of Marcus Rashford, but I'd take him out of the firing line at the moment. Put Garnacho on the left. Young, does his job, balance, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think United are in for a very, very, very difficult season.
Considering they've spent 30, 40, 50 mil in the summer, are they a better team than what they were last season?
No, the big problem is we're not a different team to last season. We didn't score many goals last year. I think we scored like under 50 goals when the vast majority of the good sides are scoring 70, 80. So, but we had 17 clean sheets. And there are a lot of defensive injuries, and the goalkeeper has changed. So United normally against Palace would have kept the clean sheet and maybe find the goal at the other end, but we're conceding and not scoring. So the defence got United where they were last year, and the defence isn't good this year.
Let's not take anything away from Palace, by the way, because Palace defended properly, took the goal when they took it. Very nice. It's a massive away win for them, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, reading on the thing, Roy Hodgson's record against Man United, it's like incredible. But I always fear these games. You know, when you play a team midweek in the Carabao Cup, Man United think they've already sailed through. Roy's made loads of changes. Roy's thinking more of the game on Saturday than what probably Ten Hag is, because Ten Hag's got to win every match at Man United. Yeah. But I never felt that Man United would win that game. And again, they concede from a set piece. They've been really poor defensively from set plays. I think the goalie changing's been a massive, massive thing. They've not scored many goals, Man United, but you've known in times gone by it'd have been a 1-0 win. Yeah. Now they concede. If you start conceding from set plays as well, and you've changed the goalie, I think the pressure's just going to mount and mount. My big thing is, yes, they don't score many goals. I think the top 4 or top 6 have probably doubled the amount that they've scored already.
Trebled, probably.
That's the main difference. So for me, like you're talking about Rashford coming out, but the centre-forward, he's a young centre-forward. He's not scored in the league, has he? So it's like...
He has scored a goal. I can't remember who.
I don't think he was in the league. I think he cut one. So like he's still trying to find his feet. He's got to get that league goal. He's got to get going a little bit. And this is what we talk about: seasoned professionals who can do it in the Premier League. Anana, goalie, come from obviously Ajax. Does he know the league? Is he got the capabilities to deal with what the Premier League is? Yes, he's a damn good goalie. I'm not being critical of that, but it takes time. But in 2 critical areas for United, the goalie and the centre-forward, which is in the middle of your spine of your team, made big decisions, and at the minute, both of them are not firing. So you're going to be in trouble when the top and bottom end of the field, you're settling in, you know.
I've got a question for you then, Watto. You were at Southampton a couple of years ago. And don't get me wrong, Southampton aren't a team that are going to be ripping up trees or anything like that. But when you're going away to Old Trafford, I would assume that it's a very different feeling to going away to a Man City. When you go to a Man City or an Arsenal, you think, oh, shit, if they're on it today, that is unbelievable. That's Goldbridge's fun.
It's Ten Hag saying we're in trouble.
We're all right for Christmas drinks, Watto.
It's an honour.
Unbelievable.
It says, stop picking on me.
But we don't pick on Anana, no chance.
No, we're not picking. Good conversation.
I would assume that going away to Manchester United, as a Southampton, for example, you have a different outlook onto it where you might say, lads, if we're at it today, we've got a chance here, you know.
Yeah, I think it's a totally different thing. I just spoke, just saying you're going away to City, the stats tell you it's a 3-0 win for them. Yeah. So you're already on the back foot, you know, that's the worst you really want to happen. When I first started coaching in the Premier League, going to Man United, you were fearing 4 and 5.
Yeah.
It were relentless, you know, playing with wingers, 2 centre forwards. Going to be a tough day, guys. No, you didn't fear that now, and you thought you'd got a chance. Obviously, I didn't work when Ten Hag were at Man United, but the previous managers that have been there, we felt as though we'd got a chance if we set our team up properly, really? And I think that's what every team's now doing. You know, the home record for United, they've lost 4 out of the first 7 for the first time in their history. I don't think any team in that Premier League, maybe without being disrespectful to a Luton, Sheffield United, yeah. Burnley, everybody else thinks as though they can go and turn Man United over. And that's what's happened to Man United over the last 10 years. The mindset of the opposition's changed, where I think that's where City have a little win, because they've changed the mindset of teams going to Man City.
Yeah. OK, I can tell you're upset about this. He's all quiet.
It's reality.
Yeah, right, let's talk about some of the other games then. Arsenal, Bournemouth, absolute doddle, wasn't it? Walk in the park, 4-0.
First result that Arsenal have looked like the team of last year. I think they've ground out a few results this year. They've looked a bit shaky, but Bournemouth aren't a bad side. I don't think Bournemouth should be in the category of, everyone's going to roll them over. I still think they're a decent side, but Arsenal just finally snapped into the groove ahead of this Man City game, which is going to be massive for them. So, yeah, really good, and letting Havertz take the penalty as well.
I think they're that confident now. Saka's nodded the first goal in, so I'm going, Odegaard, you have a penalty. Havertz going, you have a penalty. Very nice. They're making it all very homely and teamly.
Why is Saka not taking the bloody penalties?
I want Odegaard. I got Odegaard.
FPL, I've got Saka. I thought bloody could have had a bloody hat-trick.
Imagine, though, if Havertz would have missed that penalty. If he'd missed it.
I think the Arsenal lads, I saw Rice, he was like on his haunches. He wanted to watch and he will... But
please score. Please.
You've got to score this one, mate. You know what I mean? We're letting you in here. It's like get out of jail free card at Monopoly, innit? Come on, please, make sure you get it.
Newcastle, Burnley.
Straightforward.
It is, isn't it? It's straightforward. You know what's going to happen.
Well, the fear for me is we keep talking about Burnley being a good team. Yes, lack of goals, but it's the same conversation every week we're having.
Where are they going to win?
And obviously now I think they've had a real tough 8 games, but they're at Luton on Tuesday. It has to stop. Yeah. They have to now get a result from... forget the nicety of how well we think they're playing and all the nice things for Vincent Kompany. They've got to get a result.
Yeah, simple as that. And then also just touching on a few of the other ones. Nottingham Forest, Brentford, Sunday. This is where Super Sunday next week is incredible. We've got 4 games. We've got an early game, 2 o'clock. We've got 4:30, Arsenal, Man City. Yesterday's only game was Nottingham Forest versus Brentford. We watch it?
No.
No, I were at my son's football, same as you.
Yeah, it's true.
And then there were a bit of Ryder Cup stuff that...
Yeah, I think this is probably the reason why that there was only Nottingham Forest yesterday, to be honest with you.
Is it like thinking we're going to help all the teams get a result in Europe this week?
Oh, no, they'd never think that. They'd never think that.
It will always be televised money thing. They want people watching
I was watching the Ryder Cup. And then I thought, what time is it? It's 4 o'clock. I was like, sweet, we've got the game starting in a minute. Yeah. Checked on live score, it already finished. Oh my God. I'm sorry, Forest and Brentford fans, I really, really am. West Ham beating Sheffield United. West Ham, good start to the season. Jared Bowen on fire, lovely finish. West Ham will be absolutely golden this season. I'm going to say top 10 finish for them.
Yeah, I think it was Moyes' 900th game, wasn't it? And nice way to win. I think just Sheffield United, a little bit like I've just said, Burnley. Really, I'm not really sure what happens. It were so comfortable for West Ham, 2-0, home game. Again, they've got to get a result from somewhere. Yeah, you're going to use the analogy. We got beat 8 last week. That's a step forward for us, but just a comfortable beating's not a step forward. You've got to do something, you know?
They're not scoring goals, and to be honest, where are they going to go and get a result? Like Brentford will beat them, you know, West Ham will beat them.
Yeah.
You know, where are you going? Everton, maybe. You might get something there. But
well, that's it. The only point, isn't it? Everton at home, 2 apiece.
Yeah.
Monday night predictions, lads. Fulham against Chelsea. What are we saying?
I fancy Fulham to get something. Chelsea are... at some point they probably will click, but I do fancy Fulham. I think they're a good side at home.
I don't know if they will click. I'm really not sure if they will click or not.
I think Fulham are a really good team, but I'm going all out there for Chelsea because they were my dark horses. Yeah. So tonight I am backing them to get on the road.
Give me a score prediction, lads.
2-1.
2-1 Chelsea.
1-1.
I'm going to go for a 2-2. 2-2 draw. Fulham, I like Fulham. Just big, sort of proper team, I think. Right, lads, it's quiz time. Watto, you have got no chance of winning this one. Back-to-back wins for Watto, no chance. Come on then, Jamie, let's go.
You look excited today, Jay.
I'm looking forward to it. I want Watto to get
Watching
to
cards,
even
yeah, Mark's looking.
So the score's 2-2-1 overall score.
2-2-1.
It just looks so much better for me today.
It does, yeah.
Right, question 1. Can you name one of the first clubs to be relegated from the Premier
Oldham.
League? No.
Nottingham Forest.
Correct, Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, Middlesbrough and Crystal Palace all got relegated in the inaugural season of the Premier League.
I remember it was Brian.
That Brian Clough's at the end, yeah.
Inaugurals.
I know. You know why I know that? Because Man United bought Roy Keane because he got relegated.
Oh,
There you go. Not that you saw that question, Jay, no?
No, you didn't see it.
Knowledge.
Question 2. Which national team does Hakim Ziyech play for?
Morocco.
I think that's Watto.
Thank you, my friend.
Watto got it, number 1.
Thank you.
I thought it was me. I genuinely thought
No,
that
let's
was me
hold on
there.
a minute. We always go with the official answer, don't we?
We're not VAR in it.
VAR said Watto.
On the
Yes!
pitch. On the pitch.
And we know really that's wrong then, but I'm going to roll with it, Jay. Thanks very much.
the
They've
pitch,
had a bad
Fred.
week, haven't they? They've had a bad week.
On the
Me and you
pitch.
falling out, Jay, or something?
I'm sorry.
Me and you falling out?
I just heard
Oh,
Watto
he's
say.
actually been honest
You were
this
so
week.
happy to say Watto then you were.
Yeah, and rightly so. Come on, you.
Look, you said you want to go with the on-pitch ref. Don't go to
Yeah,
VAR.
absolutely.
I'll take human error. I'll take it.
Don't think it was error. But.
I'd have won 4 quizzes if we'd have gone like this.
Question 3.
Jamie cheating.
Yeah.
Arsenal's last match at Highbury was played against what team?
Oh, I do know this.
Charlton.
No.
I know it.
Everton.
No.
Was it Spurs?
No.
Oh, I saw Michael Carrick and Henry interview.
The answer is Wigan. So it was May 7th, 2006. They won 4-2 and Henry hat-trick.
Never going to get that.
No, that's a tough one.
Who's Wigan?
Wigan who?
Just want to shout out to Luke. Luke got that straight away.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well done, Lukey.
Luke's a swat though.
The Lasagna Gate, you know, Spurs Champions League year.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Food poisoning. Food
Lasagna
poisoning.
Gate.
Yeah.
There we go. Question 4. Which Spaniard has got the most Premier League appearances ever in the Premier League?
Silver.
No.
Oh, this is a good question.
I'm going to go Fabregas.
No.
Oh, that's a really good question.
Come on, to get one on the board.
You count down whenever
Yeah,
you're ready,
well,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like,
Oh, relax, you batty.
Not yet. No,
All right.
I wasn't going to count down yet. Just give you a little bit of time.
oh, come on, Jay.
Who did you say?
You've got to
5.
count down now.
Silver.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Reina.
No. David De Gea.
Oh, I've not got that.
David
I was
De Gea.
thinking goalkeeper.
I went.
I was thinking goalkeeper and I couldn't think of a Spanish one.
Yeah.
He's my bloody...
David De Gea has 415 appearances and Cesc Fabregas is in second, who's got 350.
They're retiring, by the way.
Yeah.
Crazy, isn't it?
Mad.
Can't get a club.
There we go. So no one got points for that one.
1-1-0 still.
Questions are good though, Jay.
Yeah, I like 'em.
Question 5. Estupinian and Matip both scored an own goal this weekend. Who was the only other player to do so? You hate this question, Tom, don't you?
Diaz.
Diaz is the correct answer.
I
Good knowledge, that is.
wouldn't have got it without the hint.
What was the hint?
What was the hint?
Oh, Man City.
He's a Wolves fan.
Yeah,
Oh, that wasn't even a hint.
No, it wasn't.
I didn't even mean it like that. I didn't even mean it like that.
Diaz, come on.
Yeah, there we go. 2-0-1. Question 6. Career path question.
You're good at these. You're good at
You
these.
say that every week and I never get
Ben
it.
likes these.
It's reverse psychology. It's like that person who's not good at something. Say, oh, he's good at this.
These are your favourites, mate.
I have played for Leicester, Everton, Barcelona,
Gary Lineker.
Gary Lineker.
Oh, this is
the correct
Nobody
answer.
knows who Gary Lineker is anymore. We can't do these
Who is
questions.
he?
They have to be. We're
is
on
it?
YouTube, right? We're a younger crowd, okay?
He's got the number 1
Sorry.
podcast. Sports podcast. He presents Match of the Day.
I don't mean it, Gary. I love you, really. I do.
Yeah, and then
We'd have got more chance if you'd have said Walker's Crisps.
That's what I'm saying.
That's good. I'm good at that's my era.
3-0-1.
there we go.
Question 7.
Question 7.
You can still do it, Ben. You need
Oh,
all
my
4.
God.
The Dockers derby involved which 2 clubs?
Glasgow Rangers and Glasgow Celtic.
No.
It's Edinburgh. It's Hibernian and Hearts.
No.
Dockers?
Dockers derby involved which 2 clubs?
Liverpool, Everton.
No. Millwall and West Ham.
Oh, it could have been
Dockers
anybody.
derby.
Yeah, come on. You're looking at me as though I've come out with one from, like, 1903 there, but, like, Dockers, that's what it was bought on
Seems
Glasgow.
so
innit, surely?
confident.
Oh, I was pretty confident there, mate, I'll tell you.
I've never heard
You
of
thought
that.
I'd got it, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
I know.
Question
I-
eight.
Exuded confidence.
They last met in 2012 in the Championship and West Ham won 2-1.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they haven't played in 11 years now.
They'll not be playing for a while, don't we?
We'll see.
3 left. 3, 1,
Just get off the
0.
mark. I just want to get off the mark.
You're having a
Question-
bad couple of weeks, you. Did you get one last week?
No. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got one.
Question 8. Ryan Giggs is the highest Welsh goal scorer in the Premier League, but who is
Ian Rush.
Who is
Oh, no, I'm rubbish.
not Ian Rush?
Earnshaw.
What did you say?
Artson.
No,
Robert Earnshaw.
no, you're all wrong. It's Craig Bellamy.
Ian Rush fucking didn't play in the Premier League, did he?
Yeah.
He was a good centre forward, though, I'll give you that.
I'm stuck in the 80s with Gary Lineker.
Yeah, so Ryan Giggs has got 109 and Craig Bellamy has got 81.
Of course he has.
How many did Artson get? You don't know, do you?
I don't know, but he wasn't.
3.
So that means Watto can only make it go to a tiebreaker. Come on.
Two left, yeah.
Come on then, Watto.
Come on, mate.
This is a bit of a rogue one.
Oh?
What animal is Fulham's mascot?
Oh, Fulham?
What animal is Fulham's mascot?
Is that like the dinosaur of Arsenal? Yeah. It's the
Yeah,
one that
I'll
runs
give
around.
you a clue.
Yeah.
His name's Billy.
Goat.
No.
Oh, it's good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Billy the Badger.
Correct. What?
Where did I get that from? Where did I get that from? It was just because Billy the Goat. I thought, it's got to be BB.
We're in Watto time.
Billy
again,
the
aren't we?
Badger, come on!
Billy the Bear.
Black and white.
Black and white. A bear's brown, innit?
Billy the Bollocks.
We're back into Watto time.
You
This is where it comes
don't want to
alive.
answer this, do you? But that means you don't get one right this week.
Oh,
Again.
On.
Anyway.
Take it for the Watto.
Here.
Forfeit.
Forfeit.
It's just a shame of carrying a zero around for the rest of the
Watto gets this, it's extra time.
It is extra time, overtime.
No rogue question, this one.
No row
Week in a
question.
row.
You like a row question, then, don't you, Watto?
Well, I like that one.
Question 10. Wilfred Zaha has played for England, but what other international team did he switch to in 2017?
Ivory Coast. Thank you.
Correct.
We're over.
Ivory Coast. Well done, Watto.
Bollocks! I knew that!
I couldn't afford to bottle it again. I'd be called a bottler.
Yeah, and that's the quiz.
You're going to have to stop biking, mate, Monday mornings.
Sweating now. I feel all flustered.
Watto's put him under pressure. I've never been under this pressure in the quiz in over a year.
Current standings are 3 to Mark, 2 for me, and 1 for Watto. That's the football fill-in, everybody. Well done. We'll see you next week.
See you later.